Chicken skin, brother.
Wow. So, oh boy, that was fun. And you know what? The good thing about what we just did, other than the fact that we really, really had fun doing it, is that it's so available. And what Zanuck and I would like to do in sharing with you just a few minutes is show you how what we do can be available to you as well. You know what? As ukulele players, we'd never ever think of just learning one song, and that's the same song that we play over and over and over again for the rest of our ukulele careers. No, we play different songs in order to add variety to our music.
Right.
And so the key becomes, hey, what is it that we can get out of the ukulele or ask ukuleles to do in order to provide different types of sounds that we can enjoy? And enjoying different kinds of sounds is exactly what brings Zanuck and I together to share with you today. Because what we do is, or what we have with us, are two very, very different instruments, but they're ukulele. And the reason why we've chosen to play these instruments as we do is because they provide a very, very different yet very pleasing sound. So let's get acquainted with these instruments. And Zanuck, I'll let you go first, and you can tell the folks about that beautiful instrument that you have.
Well,
what is it, buddy?
Mahalo, Kimo. Thank you very much. What we're looking at here is called a Kīkū. That's spelled K, kahako, E, which is the letter I, K again, and kahako, U, which is the letter U. So we pronounce the name with a longer stress over the vowels. Kīkū. So the word came from a friend of mine who was a Hawaiian language expert, and I asked her for advice on how to brand this new instrument. And she went and did research into Olelo Noeau, the Hawaiian proverbs, and found this word that she felt characterized the personality of this type of instrument. The word Kiku means to be rambunctious, to be independent, to be rebellious even. And how does that apply to an unassuming instrument like this? Well, first of all, this is no longer a traditional four-string ukulele. I do retain the ukulele tuning of a tenor ukulele here, or concert ukulele, G, C, E, and A. If you compare it to an ukulele you may have handy now, you can hear that we are exactly in tune with each other. But what I've done, with the help of a brilliant luthier in Tryon, North Carolina, his name is Jay Lichty. That's his headstock right here, and his logo and his emblem. He was artistically, inclined to try to put together the vision that I had for this instrument. And I just said, basically, I'm using the ukulele tuning and adding a lower string set down here. So it's tuned similar to the standard tuning of a guitar. But we are now tuned, instead of low E to a high E 2 octaves above it, this is a low A. And it goes up 2 octaves to that A. So the outside strings are once again the same pitch. So what we're doing here is having a little of the best of both worlds. I have the ukulele and that higher range, which I like. And then we also have lower notes below it, so I can reach for a more fuller chord and sound when I want to have access to it. So here would be your F chord on a standard ukulele. Everybody recognizes this. G7, C7, F. But now I have the ability to reach below this note, the lowest note, and add a note with a root of F down on the bottom. And for G7, I don't have a note that's available right now, but I can reach for an inversion, which is the third, and I can play that. So what I'm working with now is expanding the range of the ukulele, and then finally our C7 chord here now becomes a richer C7 chord. So the vamp now sounds like this: G7, but with a root of the B in the bottom, C7, and then F. So I can do that with virtually every chord that I know on an ukulele and create a wider range bass. So how this works for Kimo and I is that I can play with around the perimeter of his range of notes, which is in the baritone range. It's perfectly fit between my highest string and my lowest string. So we complement each other really well. And stylistically, Kimo plays a way that he's been playing beautifully for many years now. And it makes it easier for me to complement and enhance what he likes to play. As in the first example that we played for you, Uanohovawa Kupa. And I love hearing that range open up for the ukulele, for the tone, for the way of expression. So that's why I choose to work with this Kiku when I play with Kimo, because Kimo has a preference for the baritone sound, which he will tell you about right now.
Great.
Yeah.
And I heard the magic word range, Zanuck.
Yeah.
For me, one of the things I really respect about the Kīkū is its range. And in a little bit, we'll play together to highlight that availability of range. I play just a baritone, and this is a buttery baritone. What is a buttery baritone?
Yes.
Well, for me, I just understand the baritone part of it. Can you play your GCEA?
Sure.
This is how a normal tenor uke would be tuned. One more time.
With a low G.
Here it is. But on the baritone, because it's tuned to a baritone tuning, which is D, G, B, E, have this sound. So you see, in terms of range, Zanuck can be below me or above me, assuming that I'm playing the melody a lot. But we'll get to that in just a second. And we have found that the combination of the Kiku and the baritone is great. Getting back to something that we mentioned at the beginning, as ukulele players, we have a myriad amounts of choices that we can make in order to produce different sounds. So, just like we talked about, choosing different songs because each song has a different sound. Why not we choose different things about ukulele that appeal to us, not only for Zanuck and I, but hopefully it'll appeal to you because again, these sounds are very, very available. And the other thing I want to mention about this uke, other than the fact that it was made by Eric Devine, is that it's the koa on this uke is extremely beautiful. So one of the wonderful things about ukulele is that it can appeal to our sense of sight, beauty, and it can also appeal to our sense of sound. Okay, speaking of sound, let us now play for you a combination of Hawaiian songs, and we'll leave the vocals out so that you can just hear the combination of these two ukes. And again, these two ukes, in terms of preference for me, is that they're low and mellow as opposed to high and bright, and has nothing to do with good, bad, right, or wrong. It has to do with preference. So here's a rendition that Zanuck and I share with you of Low and Mellow. Again, a Kiku and a baritone. A Kiku and a baritone. Wonderful music that is available to you. Any parting words, Zanuck?
No, aloha. Go and buy yourself a couple.
Aloha.